The struggle of Gaborn, the Earth King, continues. He has lost his powers, but continues to lead his people. He must contend with the threat of the huge and human Reavers, whose myriads Gaborn and his forces must now pursue across the nation. It's become Gaborn's fate to follow, even into the depths. Hello and welcome to Liam's Lyceum. I'm your host Liam, aka Hambar, and today I'll be doing a spoiler-free review of David Farland's Wizardborn. Wizardborn is a 2001 novel by David Farland in Book 3 of the Runelords series, and it is the third of 4 of the Earth King arc of the Runelords, since the later books are another arc. The story begins with King Anders, one of those against Gaborn Valorden, who is, of course, the Earth King. Anders buys 500,000 mercenaries for practically nothing, similar to how the Reavers are a perceived threat in Book 1, but only show up in Book 2. Anders is recognized as a book threat in Book 2, or as a threat in Book 2, but only shows up really in Book 3. He has some dark magic that he uses, such as gaining news from the wind, and he is, of course, typically power-hungry and rather evil. Then the story takes us to the Brotherhood of the Wolf, a group like the Knights Equitable, but not sworn to any crown. This band is led by Mirama, Slayer of the Darkling Glory. She is also a wolf lord now, having taken endowments from dogs for stamina and smell. It's just after the Battle of Karis, where a world worm was summoned and the Reavers defeated Raja and denied his revenge, as well as the death of his favorite wife. Gaborn, though, has lost his powers for attempting to help the Invincibles kill Raja Aten, who was one of his chosen. This is bad, as full night is approaching. This could be the end of the world, just as the Toth and the Dustins once walked the earth. Maybe humanity will go extinct now. It reminds me some of the War of Law and Chaos and Stormbringer from the Elric saga, if you've read that. Borenson lost his testicles at the end of the second book, and that takes up a role in this novel in interesting ways. They probably had a bit too much attention. Rajan himself returns to Indobal, seeing who is still loyal to him after his crimes of trying to kill a cousin in Gaborn and killing his own men as well. The title itself refers to wizards, which are born of their element, meaning they have no father, essentially. Benisman, for example, has always been a wizard, though he grew up like a normal human. This is a mix of a wizard who studies and those of Middle-earth, right? So it's kind of D&D, it's kind of Middle-earth. Like the robe actually grows from the wizard like a plant, which is kind of cool. We also learn about water wizards and get a little bit about flame weavers and air wizards in this novel as well. And there are more new characters, and I think the Simpleton of Waggett is probably the most interesting. He is a new baron raised to the status by slaying 9 Reavers at the Battle of Karis. I'm reminded once again how good of a man Gaborn is. He's not perfect, but he means well, and I think in many stories he's probably would be considered a Mary Sue. I don't think he really is, though. He does try to consecrate himself to serving his people, the type of servant that leaders should be. In chapter 27, we get an epigraph that is an in-world explanation for the word dragon, which is also kind of cool. We also get much more on the Reavers. They're still monstrous, but maybe more like aliens than a typical fantasy monster, if that makes sense. Beyond more of the Rothaven and Intopal, we also find out more of Ankara in this novel. The threat expands, particularly from the runes, like the one destroyed at Karis. They are killing, or at least hurting the world to a point that humans cannot live on it. This novel only takes place over a couple days and has really not been very long at all since the start of the series. It's crazy that so many epic things just happen so fast in this series. It is a bit shorter than the second book, and Book 4 is even shorter. I found Avrin's arc is probably the most interesting in this novel as well, though Mirama's is quite interesting as well. And overall, I did enjoy this novel, not as much as Book 2, the Brotherhood of the Wolf, but that was my favorite so far in the series. And again, as of recording this, I've read the first 6. Anyways, Liam from Liam's Lyceum. I will catch you next time.